go. Motivate, 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 motivate.
Hi, my name is Chris, and this video is meant to help you out if you are going to high school. Now, I know a lot of my audience has already done this, so if you've already done this, do me a favor and provide your best advice to someone going in high school. This could be a freshman year survival guide. It's gonna answer questions like, is high school hard? Is high school like the movies? And it's gonna ultimately help someone out there who's struggling or afraid and doesn't know what to expect. So hopefully we can make a difference together. So let's just get right into it. So is high school like the movies? I mean, there have been so many movies about high school. There's Superbad, Project X, Mean Girls, American Pie, The Duff, Easy A. There's TV shows and even Netflix shows like Insatiable and 13 Reasons Why, and even anime like Gamers. There are so many out there that give these different ideas of what high school is like, and I think everybody has a different experience, but then at the same time, we also share an experience. So I want to give you guys a little bit of a first, run idea of what I went through and the tips I would give to a future version of myself who's just going into high school. And may even just be there right now. But let's just dig into this. So I'll tell you this right now. So your looks do affect your status. I mean, they just do. You can be really good looking and it will help you not get picked on. It'll help girls like you and it will help your social standing. I had a friend who wasn't really cool per se, but he was considered a cute guy, so people didn't mess with him, because somebody, who knew somebody probably liked the guy, and it helped him open up doors. Again, he wasn't really popular, but his looks did make a difference. But at the same time, the friends you make also affect your status. So when you get into school, make sure you try to make good friends. You make cool friends, nice friends. Not necessarily the cool person on campus or the person that's like a senior or whatever. That may not help you, but I will tell you immediately that just being able to have people around you that are about at your own social status will really help you work out that first set of freshman scares. Now you may ask yourself, how do I even make friends? That is a question that will haunt you throughout the rest of your life. And the truth is, you gotta just be yourself, but also don't stand out too much. I know that sounds like a little bit of mixed advice, but it is the truth. You have to be yourself and put things out there that you want people to be attracted to, but at the same time, you can't put too much yourself out there because doing it will get you in trouble. For instance, standing up for yourself sometimes just results in you getting beat up. Other times, it can help. I had a bully once basically confront me in the lunchroom, and I had had enough of it, so I literally was like, hey, you wanna do this? Let's do it right now. And I was completely bluffing, but I was like, hey, you wanna do it? Let's go. Let's get into it, boy. And not kidding you, he backed down. He apologized. And not a lot of people messed with me after that. I did get messed with, down the line from other groups, but his group did back down and left me alone. But then other times I've stood up to bullies thinking that's the right thing to do, and the kid was just way bigger than me, strung me up by my neck, not a lie, strung me up by my neck, and almost choked me out. And I just learned to kind of leave the guy alone. But later in the years, I don't know why, the same guy would tell other people to leave me alone because I had heart. So I don't know what that really tells you other than the fact that maybe sometimes you stand up for yourself, other times you don't. But you got to just find that equilibrium. I always say when you go to high school, you should really just try to hide. When I say hide, not in your locker, but just try to not stand out too much. Don't wear anything too dorky. Don't say anything too stupid. Just try to blend in, be smart in your classes, and realize that high school is a middle ground for getting to college or getting to a trade or getting just out of that freaking hallway. Get out of it as soon as you can, because I'm telling you, your life has so much more to offer. So if you're having a hard time at first, please believe me that it will get better. People don't believe it when they say it, because in the moment it all feels like it's doom and gloom, but I'm telling you, it will get better. Now, to compare it to the movies make you feel like high school is like one big party or one big anxious field trip. And the truth is, it's a little bit of both. I will say I didn't really get invited to any parties because I didn't stand out enough to get invited to anything. So I went to the school homecoming, or maybe even I went to our prom, and I hung out there. But again, I didn't make any big waves, and I even happened to somehow get a date despite people not really knowing who I was. Because over time of being in high school, I really did build a name for myself of just being a nice person. And that really helped me over time to, have people who want to actually, maybe study with me, or have people who actually will talk to me in the classrooms, or even with me just being smart, ask for my help on different assignments. When they learn that, okay, this is a real person, people do kind of back down on judging you too much. But when you first get there, it is a literal judge fest. But please believe you don't need to be everything they want you to be. I remember I had a girl who made fun of me for being a virgin in my freshman year of high school. And I'm looking around like, shouldn't we all be virgins? I didn't know anybody having sex in grammar school. But the fact is that other kids did start earlier and they have a different experience than you, but you have to just be cool with just being yourself and not feel the pressure to need to do something crazy like an American Pie and try to have sex with a pie. You don't need to do that. You can wait for a girl. I promise you, it's fairly normal to wait for a girl and not try to sleep with a piece of pastry like the movies tell you. And I'll tell you this too. And the movies make it seem like every high schooler is super horny and they're all out there trying to bag the chicks. It's not necessarily true. You may not be blooming that way. You may just be chilling and having a good time doing what you do. I really enjoyed Pokemon for my several years of high school and didn't really go crazy about like trying to get girls. That didn't happen until years later, and that was okay because that was how I developed. You don't need to go faster than you want to go. If you're not ready for something, don't do it. If you don't want to go party, don't get involved in the party crowds. It's really easy to avoid high school parties. Just don't go. If you want to do something else, there's plenty to do in this world. There's video games online that can keep you immersed in for years and years. But that's telling you to do that because that could also be a detriment to your life too. But all I'm saying is that there is a lot more to it than what people say it is or what it looks like in these movies. Again, you look at things like Superbad and you think that everything leads up to this momentous occasion where he's going to party your brains out and have a great time the entire time, and really it's all just kind of awkward for everyone. Everyone's trying to figure out who they should be just to get by, to get to the next stage. And when you realize that everyone's there, it becomes a lot easier to deal with it. I mean, I remember the girl that I had the biggest crush on in high school didn't like me back, or so I thought. But it was really the truth was that she did like me back, but the social norms said that she couldn't, so she didn't. So she liked the football player instead. And I found out after we graduated that she was into me the whole time. And it's like, what? How would I ever have known that? Well, the thing is, I was just a regular kid and I didn't stand out, and it wasn't important to like me back then, because a lot of people, a lot of kids are still very shallow. They're very shallow. So even if it doesn't make sense, it does make sense because they're all about themselves and their image. The image becomes the number one, not how they really feel. And you have to just know that on the inside, that that's just how things go once you enter the high school years. You're thinking about like who you're gonna be, what you wanna be, how you wanna feel. There's so much to deal with on the inside. You don't want to complicate that by going with your actual feelings sometimes. So what I'm saying is essentially don't expect the high school cliche movie thing of being able to ask out the most popular girl in school. Don't expect that the most popular girl in school is going to actually like you secretly, or even if she does, that she's going to do anything about it, because the truth is that it's a lot harder to actually face up on those feelings because of all the pressure and social drama that comes along with going to high school. I will also tell you this: keep your friends from grammar school and try to make friends with their high school friends, because there's less pressure there for you. It gives you an opportunity to still practice on being social or learning to talk to people, but you don't have to deal with any negative after effects once you go back to your school. It makes it a lot easier. It still allows you to stretch those limbs and getting ready for the next move. Also, I'll tell you this, something big that I learned: don't spend money on name brand clothes trying to look cool. Don't get the latest or the greatest, because I'm telling you, in a few years, they won't be worth anything. All those kids I went to school with, they bought Coogee sweaters and FUBU or like boo-hoo right now, because they could have saved all that money and done cool stuff with it. Like, got a pony. I don't know, do you even want a pony? You probably don't want a pony. But I'm just saying that you could have done more with your money than just trying to look cool and impress some kids that won't matter to you in about 4 years. Trust me. And I know that you're there now and you want to fit in, but I'm telling you, just go to Target, buy clothes that are at least reasonable looking, and you will be fine. A white t-shirt can go a long way, as can jeans and a decent pair of shoes. I mean, again, talk to your parents about it. Maybe you have to work for it, but I don't know. Some people just get money handed to them. I don't. My parents didn't do that. So I had to, go to school wearing Payless shoes. And honestly, it was a thing where I was like, you know what? Yeah, my parents can't afford it, and that was just what it was. But any store like that can get name brands for less, those are going to be your godsend. Last but not least, high school bullies. High school bullies are kind of like they are in the movies. They're just jerks. They're people who have been hurt in their lives and don't know how to express that hurt in any other way other than to hurt others. And what I tried to do in high school was I tried to avoid them. There were a couple that I couldn't avoid, but I did my best. Just try your best to just steer clear. And if you try to do any kind of sports where the bullies are involved, just do your best on that playing field. I did try out for the football team, and I didn't make it. I went through the summer league program, and all the players, not all the players, it's not true. Most of the players were kind of nice, but there was the few bullies that were so mean that I couldn't deal with it. And I decided, you know what, I don't want to interact with these people anymore. And the thing is, I felt like even after being there long enough, people started to warm up to me, and I started to actually bond with a few of the players that were previously mean to me. So I do think in some ways it does help to get involved, but for me, it wasn't worth like the torment, or it wasn't worth even like feeling the pressure of being judged constantly for everything I did. So I pulled back and I left that situation. So I'll just tell you that the high school bullies are somewhat like they are in the movies. They are kind of just these jerks that stand around and live to make people feel pain. So I will tell you, make sure that you try to get good friends that will protect you, or good friends that will see you for the person you are, so that their torment doesn't bother you too much, and it will at some point be able to get some help. I will tell you, at my high school, yes, there were bullies, but there were also security guards. Security guards were around, so if someone was bullying you, you could have someone to go to, and it would help a little bit. Don't run to them in front of everybody, but maybe after school, or maybe go talk to a guidance counselor or whatnot, and just kind of let them know what you're going through. I remember I had a bully once who was like mad at me for not helping him cheat on a test, and I was just like, I can't, because I don't want to ruin my future. And the guy was like, well, I'm gonna ruin your future right now, that kind of deal. And I had to tell somebody about it, because I couldn't deal with that the kid was gonna beat me up for not getting myself expelled from school. So you just gotta figure out ways to deal with your problems. Always be open to talking to your parents. They will give you really good advice. If you don't have strong parents in your life, again, talk to other friends, older brother, older sister. You can come to YouTubers like me. We're all willing to help you out. There are all resources to help you deal with the hardships of high school. Don't get to a point where you get depressed and you've gone through it all and you don't feel like you have any resources, because there is always someone out there to help you. Don't let it put you through the worst part of your life. Make sure that you're looking for a bright spot at every single corner, okay? And again, be smart. Don't give anyone a reason to pick on you. But remember that high school is a springboard into college or a trade or whatever you want to do. So be sure to keep your future in mind at all times. And remember that, yes, you can be there to socialize a little bit, but overall, use it as a springboard for greater things, because you definitely deserve it. And that is all the advice I have for high school. I know it's a longer video, but I want to give as much advice as possible and just kind of spit it all out in one place. So here you go, high schooler, freshman survival guide. Use these tips to get yourself in a really good place in your life. Use these tips to get yourself in a really good place where you're not, hating your life every day. Use this as a way to really motivate yourself to move forward in your entire life, even beyond high school. My name is Chris. Thank you so much for watching. Again, high school can be like the movies. It really can be. But the truth is that it's not. And it is at the same time. It doesn't all factor out to one equality. So be realistic about it and have a good time. Do your best with what you have. And I'll see you guys on the next video. If this helped you out, give it a thumbs up. Please share it with someone else who might be going into high school, and check out my other videos. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Use Teleport.
Go motivate, 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 motivate.